welcome to Education, Leadership, and Beyond, Surviving and Thriving. My name is Andrew Marotta, host of the show. And thank you for joining me on this beautiful, beautiful evening. It is March 10th, and here in the Northeast, it was 75 degrees today. I am just, woof. People were outside, people were moving, and it certainly reminded us, right, to make sure that we are moving and taking care of ourselves on our journeys. A quick word from IXL. I do want to thank them for sponsoring the show. And again, if you are an educator, you know about IXL and the work they are doing in education. That was the wrong button here. I'd like to thank IXL for sponsoring today's podcast. Over 1 million teachers use IXL in their classroom every day. IXL is the most widely used online learning and teaching platform K through 12. It empowers schools with complete curriculum, thousands of instructional resources, robust reporting, assessment data, and more. It saves teachers a lot of valuable time with ready-made plans aligned to the standards and the textbooks. Built-in engagement tools like custom competitions make learning fun for students. And IXL's diagnostic is research proven to be a strong predictor of performance on standardized assessments. And the best part, everything I just mentioned is all integrated into one platform, so you can simplify your EdTech tools. Visit IXL.com to lead your students towards data-driven excellence today. The link is in the show notes. And again, appreciate IXL sponsoring today's podcast. All right, let's get started. Thanks for joining me. If you are watching live, I did have a guest cancel today. They weren't able to make it. They let me know at the last moment. So I said, you know what? Let me come on. I want to do some sharing, talking about a few things. So if you are watching live today, I would love to have a question thrown in the chat. I would love to have a comment thrown in the chat, and maybe we'll have some dialogues, not with a guest on the podcast, but with you as an audience member. So if you are tuning in live, thank you for that. I did forget to mention, proud member of the Education Podcast Network, Voice Ed Radio Canada, wherever you're taking in your podcast. Thank you for your support. All right, let's get started. I got a few different things I want to go over. And like always, I start with a story, right? As an educator, as a leader, maybe you're a business leader, maybe you're in law enforcement. You have to speak to people, say these magic words. They are magic. Let me tell you a story. So here's a story. So if you know me, if you read my stuff or you follow along, I did lose my mom January 23rd. My mom, oh my God, Dorothy Marotta, incredible lady, incredible mom, wife, and yeah, just sad. Yeah, it's just sad. If you've lost a parent, you know, you're just sad. So anyway, that happened January 23rd. On January 22nd, I'm here in Port Jervis. I'm doing my schoolwork, doing my stuff. And one of the things I do in Port, and I love it, we have the Pledge of Allegiance. We do the pledge live in classrooms around the district. I schedule it with the teacher. The kids get excited. We create the link, and it's live. It goes to all of our social medias and all of that. So it's cool. So on the 22nd, I have an appointment to go do that. And I'm about to leave, and my sister calls and says, hey, you better get down here, meaning Staten Island. Mom is not well. You better get down here, you know, implying that she didn't think she was going to make it. And I was kind of like, you know, I got this appointment, the kids, like, what do I do, right? Do I just drop everything and run? And so I was right near the school. I said, you know what? Let me go do the pledge quickly. And then let me, you know, I'll go down to Staten Island and be with my family. So I was a little fragile. Like my mom was in my head. I was kind of racing. And here in Port Jervis, right, I want to put on my Port Pride face. I want to lead with positivity and energy. And but I was a little shaken at that moment. So I got to the school. I'm getting set up. I got my light and here's my little light here. If you do work in your school, right, hit my little lights. Let me put that up, actually up here. So I get there and I'm getting set up. And again, I'm in a fragile state. And the principal of the building, Emily Mesnick, walks up. Emily's a Port Jervis graduate. She's a Port Jervis mom. She's an incredible school leader. And in her cheery self, hey, Andrew, how you doing? And I, right away, I said, oh, I'm doing okay. And she knew right away something was wrong. She said, oh, okay. Not wanting to pry too much, like, hey, is everything all right? She paused, and then she did say, is everything okay? And I'm trying to hold on here, right? Like, it's kind of hitting me, and I'm like, and again, pause. She knew something was wrong. Obviously, I knew something was wrong, and we paused, and she just said, right? She just said, do you need a hug? And like, I was just like, and it brought out the tears and the emotions. And, and it goes to the points of, do you need to be helped, heard, or hugged? Right. And Emily in that moment knew that. She sensed that. She saw that. And she gave me a hug. And then I told her what was going on. And she was like, oh my God, Andrew, what are you doing here? And I said, well, I got the appointment with the kiddos. I didn't want to miss it. And man, were the kids great? Was the teacher fantastic? And while I was still rushing to go see my mom and my family, I was glad I went. I was glad that I kept my commitment to those kids and the classroom. But more so, two things happened, right? I saw Emily with that empathy and what she did in that moment, right? Do you need a hug, right? How often do adults say that to each other, not only in schools, at their workplaces, And secondly, you never know where inspiration is going to come from, right? I was down, I was hurting, and I walked in that classroom, I put on a happy face, and those kids and those teachers inspired me. They were so enthused and so excited. And I was kind of like, man, if I had canceled this thing, it would, they would have been upset. They would have been disappointed. So I'm glad I did. Thank you to my mom for waiting for me. All right. And be able to get down there and be with her. And thank you to Emily Mesnick. Do you need a hug? Whether you're a parent, a school leader, right? You read the room, you sense what's going on. So I share that story with gratitude and admiration for her leadership. So again, if you're watching live, I had a guest cancel tonight, so nobody's joining me on the podcast. This is just a little solo podcast. I wanted to jump in and say hello and still have the show. And I have a few points, but if you are watching live, jump in, say hello, ask a question. Maybe you're from Texas and you were just at my last talk there at TASSP. Maybe you're one of the New York athletic directors next week at their conference coming on. So let me know where you are watching from and jump in the chat. Okay, point number 2. March Madness. Hello, Mr. Harris. Yes, I will see you very soon, Mr. Harris. School board meeting here for Port Jervis tonight. Mr. Harris, one of our longtime board members and fan of the arts, right? He's always at our shows and stuff. My next point, March Madness. I wrote this book a number of years ago, Tales from the Hardwood. I used to referee college basketball, and now is when everyone focuses on college basketball. These kids and these refs and these coaches, they've been playing the game since November. But now is time when people are dialed in. So just one point in here, right? A lot of great stories, a lot of great times. My official, they're on my website. It's on Audible. But with March Madness, right? That concept of while everyone else is losing their minds, you're the one who's keeping yours, right? They're called fanatics for a reason, fans and replay and all the excitement of the games, right? Those referees that you're going to see down the stretch, men's and women's, down, coming into here, the conference tournaments this week and then into the NCAA tournament next week. They're the best of the best, and they've earned their way to be in there. But when that game is going crazy, when all those things are happening, and that crazy play in the game, they are so focused and dialed in. So life is fast, right? Maybe you're a school leader like myself here in Port Jervis. Maybe you're a busy parent. All these things are happening. My advice to you is to focus and dial in, dial down there when things are getting crazy. people would ask me a lot, say, Andrew, how do you concentrate through all that craziness? People yelling at you. Half the time, you don't even hear the people yelling at you because you're just focused on what's in front of you. Another question they might say is, well, Andrew, how did you not see that over there? Because I wasn't looking over there. I'm looking over here. This is where my focus is, right? As a referee, you're looking at certain areas. And when the ball is on a certain other part of the court, you're not looking there. So you're focused in your area where you're supposed to be looking, and you trust your partners to take those other parts. So just a couple of concepts from my time officiating. And again, if you haven't got a copy of this, it's great. Certainly this time of year, people get excited about it. So couple little concepts from Tales from the Hardwood. And the last point I wanted to share tonight is my latest book is the Magic Acronyms, Formulas, and Impactful Stories of Leadership, a dedication to my man, Dr. Rob Gilbert. If you are not a hotline caller, 973-743-4690. 973-743-4690. That's the Success Hotline, and it's a dedication to Dr. Gilbert and the hotline here. A lot of great concepts, a lot of great leadership points, a lot of great stories, and proud of this. Dr. Gilbert and I are doing a book signing coming up here. Let me get the date. It's at Bookends Bookstore in Ridgewood, New Jersey, and that is on Sunday, March 22nd. So that's 2 Sundays, coming up. Well, the 15th and then the following Sunday. So a week from this Sunday, 1 to 3, Dr. Gilbert and I will be there. Bookends Bookstore, Ridgewood, New Jersey. But from this, one of the Magic Acronyms, Formulas, and Impactful Stories is ABRACADABRA. I was at a presentation with Dr. Gilbert and one of his people, Mark Glacini. Mark Glacini is a professional lacrosse player. He won a national championship playing lacrosse. Forgive me, Mark, I think it's Yale. But he's also a mental strength coach. He's a mental performance coach groomed under Dr. Gilbert. And we were at a conference together. Dr. Gilbert invited myself, Mark, and a few other leaders. And Mark came out with abracadabra, right? And we've heard that before, right? Here's my magic wand. We've heard that before, abracadabra. And we've all heard that. But I never knew that it meant, with my words, I create. With my words, I create. So abracadabra, with my words, I create. I loved it. I was like, oh my God, I never knew that. I wrote it down. Boom, boom, boom. And then I tell the story in the book. So I like to create content. I like to create engaging presentations when I go speak. And, I was looking at the book. What could be the presentation? What's the takeaways? There's so many takeaways in here. And the presentation I created based around the concepts of the book is abracadabra. With my words, I create. And what is it that you want to create in your life, right? Discover them, live them, and be the leader that you want to be through discovery, exploration, and implementation. And that is the name of the session I built. And I went through the book, and I went through there, and I picked 14 phrases. And out of those 14, right, the 14th has 14 words. The 13th has 13 words, 12, 11, and so on, right? So the 5th point has 5 words. And again, with my words, I create, abracadabra. So I wanted to share, and I said, well, I'm not going to do all 14, right? So I'm picking 10 through 5. 10 through 5. I'm going to go through them tonight, share those with you. And again, if you're watching live, jump in the chat, say hello. Let me know where you're watching. Let me know where you're coming from, and throw a question in there. I'd like to have some kind of dialogue and Q&A with you. So let's start with number 10 of abracadabra. They're all 2-letter words, one of Dr. Gilbert's favorite. If it is to be, it is up to me. Number 10. If it is to be, it is up to me. Now think about the thing that you want to do in your life. Think about the thing that's right in front of you, right? And Maybe we don't have that much freedom in our job, or we have a lot of freedom in our job. Maybe we don't have a lot of wiggle room in our lives. Um, that concept of, if it is to be, it is up to me. 10 two-letter words. A lot of ownership there. A lot of really, depending on yourself. Not, sometimes we blame other people. Sometimes, well, it's because of so-and-so. If it is to be, it is up to me. That's number 10. Number 9, today was a beautiful day here in the Northeast. Everybody was outside, moving, walking, just being outside, right? And here's a little advice: if you're off a little bit, if you're not feeling well, if you're a little upset, your actions change your attitudes, your motions change your emotions, and your movements change your moods. Actions change attitude. I'll shorten it just so it's 9, because I threw a couple extra words in there. Actions change attitudes. Motions change emotions. Movements change moods. 9 words there for you to get moving, right? We think exercise, movement is exercise, right? And it is, but it also changes your mind. It also adapts, helps you adapt, right? You're breathing more. You're focusing on something else by walking, regulating yourself, right? I work in schools. If you work in a school, how many times have we sent that kid for a walk around the hallway, go get a drink, and reset themselves? One more time. Actions change attitude, emotions change emotions, and movements change your moods. Number 8, do a little, a lot of the time. Do a little, a lot of the time. People, they call them weekend warriors, right? Do you go to the gym on the weekend for 3 hours, right? I'm going to get that workout in. I'm going to do it. But you haven't worked out all week, right? You want to write a book. Yes, I go on long writing retreats from time to time, but most of the time I'm writing 30 to 45 minutes in the morning before work. I like to do a little bit a lot of the times. Many of you have asked about getting your doctorate. That's something that I've never done, and I want to write a book, not get my doctorate. How do you do it? 30 minutes a day. There's actually a person who wrote a book called 30 Minutes a Day. That's how they got their doctorate there. So number 8 words. Do a little, a lot of the time. I have a number of 8s here. Here's a positive affirmation. Maybe you're a morning person. You look at yourself in the mirror. Here's a positive affirmation. Everything you need is already inside you. Everything you need is already inside you. What are the positive things that you're saying to yourself in the morning? Positive affirmations. Everything you need is already inside you. Number 7. This is hard, right? I just lost my mom. I just shared that story here. Number 7. Because of this, something good will happen. Because of this, something good will happen. It's hard to get through hard times. It's difficult. I'm not saying it's easy, but when you tell yourself what's going to come of this, right? Because of this, something good will happen. I shared it's March Madness, right? I used to officiate in the ACC. I was in the ACC 8 years. It was a great run. It was a phenomenal time for me and my family, and certainly was excited to be in the ACC. And when I got let go, I got let go of the conference. One year I didn't get rehired, and there was a new supervisor, and I was not in that person's sights. So I was devastated. I was upset. But what happened during that time was I started to get invited to go speak places, started to get invited. I had written my first book, The Principle, Surviving and Thriving. I wrote this in 16, 17, somewhere in there. And I started to get invited to places to speak. And I was like, wow, I kind of like this. And I was speaking while I was still officiating. I wasn't in the ACC anymore. And then I decided, hey, this is for me. I really like it. And I decided to step away from officiating. Something was so bad that I got let go in the ACC, turned into all of this 7 books later and all of that. So 7 words, something, because of this, something good will happen. I like this one. It's in the book here. Ed Agresta said this one, right? That everybody has these words over their head. whether it's a kid in school, whether it's a family member, whether it's a loved one, whether it's a stranger on the street. They have these words over their head. Please make me feel special today. I've been blessed to be a school leader here in Port Jervis for a long time. A lot of kids, a lot of teachers, a lot of years of interacting with people. And as an educator, we get to do that all the time. Please make me feel special today. So the next person that you see over their head, remember that. Please make me feel special today. And how can you do that? If you're watching now live on the show, jump in the chat. How could you do that? What are some things that we can do to do that? One of the things is call people by their name, right? If you don't know the person by their name, ask them, hey, what's their name? One of the things I always try to do when I'm out to dinner with my family is get to know the server's name. And you call them by name, and then you could leave a review by name. Hey, the server was excellent because, Maria, etc. That kind of stuff. Acknowledge something about the person, whether they look great, whether they said something good, whether it was something they did at work the week before. Acknowledge something about that person there. And it's simple. You can offer a compliment. Wow, you look great today. Man, you smell great today. Something like that. Please make them feel special today. Please make me feel special today. When you think that those people have those words over their head, you're going to think to try to find something positive. And the last is ask them about something that they are into, right? And if you don't know, ask. Say, hey, what's going on in your life? What's something you're working on right now? But if you know that about that person, follow up about that thing. How is the doctorate going for you? How did that interview go for you? Where are you at in your application of right? Those type things there. 6, please make me feel special today. And the last one is what I open with. With my words, I create. So in your head, what are the words that you're telling yourself, right? Do you want to train to run for that 5K this spring? Well, with my words, I'm going to tell myself that I am going to run that 5K, and then I'm going to go create that path. Writing a book. Many of you have asked me about writing a book. With my words, I create. So you think about them in your mind, you say them, and then you go implement that. And that's what the abracadabra is. And really, that's what the whole concept of this book is about motivating you to be your best self, motivating you to go do those things in your life that you want to do. Because Dr. Gilbert and calling the hotline is exactly what he did to me, or for me, is motivated me, made me believe that I could do those things. So I share these concepts with you today. That's 10 through 5. And I got some other 5 and other ones in there, but I didn't want to go too much into it today there. Those books are on my website. Those books are on Amazon, and those books are also on Audible. If you are an audio person, you're listen to the books. So that's it for me tonight, flying solo. Happy to run this podcast. Leave a question in the chat. Say hello in the chat. And if I could help you, please reach out. My website, my email is the best way to probably get in touch with me. And again, that hotline number is 973-743-4690. Dr. Rob Gilbert and the Success Hotline. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. Get out there and enjoy this nice weather, and go do those things that it is you want to do. With my words, I create. Abracadabra. Thanks for tuning in, friends. Appreciate you. And we will see you soon, not only here on the podcast, but out there following the blog and all the good things going on. All right. So keep surviving and thriving, friends.